What up, Thrashers? Welcome to another episode of the Block Thrasher Daily Crypto Update, where we are doing everything we can to simplify crypto as much as possible. This show is designed for those who want to learn and understand cryptocurrency. It's for the new people. Well, it's for everybody. But that's what we're trying to do, just shatter the complexities with daily news, commentary, analysis, and education. It is Monday, May 10th, 7:47. I am now in the Houston, Texas area, and it is now hot and humid, not unlike this cryptocurrency market, which is also hot at the moment. We are seeing some incredible gains, but before we do that, let's jump into the word of the day. Oligopoly. O-L-I-G-O-P-O-L-Y. What in the world is oligopoly? What does oligopoly mean? The market condition that exists when there are few sellers, as a result of which they can greatly influence price and other market factors. That creates an oligopoly. Few sellers who can then influence or manipulate the price or other market factors. All right, let's jump in and take a look at what is going on with the cryptocurrency market today. Currently, the total market capitalization is up 2.1% to $2.569 trillion. That's right. We continue to see money pouring into the cryptocurrency space. That is phenomenal. Bitcoin dominance has falling. I've been predicting this, guys, for years, actually. Even if you had talked to me back in 2016, I have always stipulated that while Bitcoin is revolutionary, while it has some incredible advantages, especially network effects, since it was the first, its dominance was never guaranteed, and it still isn't guaranteed. It just isn't technologically superior enough. In fact, the opposite would be true. It has many shortcomings. And the network effect is a ridiculously I'm searching for a word right now, and what is going on in my mind is I'm thinking about what's happened with DOGE recently, and it just proves how network effect is fickle. That's the word I'm looking for, because the crowd, the mass, the people are fickle, and they're driven in our society, especially so often, by celebrities, by memes, all these things that come into play that just grab the attention of people that otherwise would have not even been paying attention, potentially, brings them in, and this money starts to flow in. And so we've seen this happening. And right now, we're seeing the evidence of it. Bitcoin dominance, 42.3%. Ethereum, 18.5%. And I know we could have a long discussion about that. We could have a debate. I could bring somebody on here, a Bitcoin maximalist, who's going to argue all kinds of reasons why and that this happens during bull markets, blah, 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 you know. But the fact of the matter is that there are projects after projects after projects, and dApps after dApps after dApps, and decentralized exchanges, and on it goes, that are doing incredible things as this market matures, and those are eroding away the dominance of Bitcoin, and rightly so, because they provide value. Anyway, the idea of having one crypto, the ideology behind that never made sense to me anyways, because I like competition. I want a competitive marketplace. I want the cryptocurrencies that provide the best technology, the most privacy, whatever it is that you are specifically looking for to fulfill the use case. I want those to win. Let's take a look at some of the prices today. Well, before we do that, what's going on with the gas prices for Ethereum? Oh, snap. These are a bit painful right now. Standard gas price is up to 277 GWAY. Yeah, that's pretty high. That is 4 times what it was just a week or so ago, a few days back. All right, Bitcoin is currently up 2.9% to 57,951. Bitcoin has been stuck in this just slight up and down movement, but sideways with a little bouncing here and there. Boom, 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 but sideways. It's like a heartbeat right now. And it's just trending along at 50, around 55, 56, 57. Just can't get back to that $60,000 level right now as the rest of the market is just exploding. Look at this. Everything is green. Ethereum is up 40% on the week, reaching new all-time highs over $4,000. Booyah! Can I get a amen from the Ethereum people? I'll bet you there's a lot of Ethereum people out there that are just losing their minds right now. I mean, I'm excited about it. This is good stuff. $4,133 currently for Ethereum, up 8% in the last 24 hours. Why? Why is this happening? Well, according to our friends over at Crypto Potato, who've done some on-chain analysis, it's actually not Crypto Potato doing this analysis. It's, who were the guys doing this? Quant, I think. Anyway, the on-chain analysis shows that one of the factors behind this surge could be the institutional investors coming in again with large, massive amounts of money as they begin to stock up on Ethereum. Yeah, it's Crypto Quant. Crypto Quant CEO Ki Young Zhu he pointed out that there was a significant premium on Coinbase, which he believes is among the most probable reasons behind Ethereum's price surge. So we see this happen over and over again whenever the institutionals start to come in. They do it primarily through Coinbase. Coinbase Pro, Coinbase. I think Coinbase even has some OTC solutions for the big institutionals over the counter. And when the institutionals start to buy up, that premium that Coinbase charges goes up. And so it gives us an indicator that the institutionals are coming in. So that could be one of the big reasons why Ethereum is seeing such a huge pump. But hey, you just step back a little bit and look at what's going on, and you look at the rest of the top 10, 15, 20 tokens. They're surging similarly. So we also just have this bull market in effect where everything is just rocketing, mooning. Binance coin up 7.3% on the week. Now $665.77. XRP is up 5.1% in the last 24 hours to $1.56. Dogecoin is up 36.5 on the week, up 14.5%, currently at 51 cents. Not able to regain its all-time high. And interestingly, of course, I really am not going to just talk about it except for in brief, because to me, all of this stuff with Elon Musk and Doge and all, it's a circus show. It's what it is. Now, I know there are going to be people out there that believe that's sustainable, that the people, that this celebrity driven, and it's interesting because Musk is actually, I mean, Musk doesn't care. He's the richest dude on the planet, right? I believe at this moment. I'd have to go check to verify that. He don't give a crap. Right? He's having fun. I don't know what his intentions are behind what he's doing, but he's admitted that this is fun, right? And so he went on Saturday Night Live and he said some things that were taken positively and he said some things that were taken negatively. He said that Dogecoin is a hustle, and some people spun that to be like, well, he's saying it's a hustle and that it's like, in a positive way, and then it's coming in and it's hustling everything. It's taking over the market, taking over the world, whatever. Other people took it the other way as a hustle, as in like a hustler is one who is scamming people all the time, right? But then he made other statements like Doge is the future and things like this. But it's also a comedy show and a skit, right? And so people go in, they just try to like read into every little thing. And they like, and from the very beginning, it hasn't been clear that Musk is an actual supporter of Dogecoin, but that's beside the point. It's beside the point. Is it sustainable is the question. I believe the answer and the analysis to that is no. And so interestingly, immediately upon the launch of that Saturday Night Live show or whatever, the conclusion of it, I should say, Doge tanked like 30%. Down. Just an early sign, an early indicator that that influence is starting to waver. And there's all kinds of fundamental problems with the supply and the emission rate. We talked about that ad infinitum. I'm not going to go into it any further. My greatest concern, as I've said before, is the Trojan horse aspect of this thing, where from a strategic standpoint, from the standpoint of regulatory concern, from the SEC, etc., if Doge gets massively pumped and you have all these new people coming into crypto that don't know diddly squat, that don't even understand what a total supply is, or a circulating supply, or what mining is, or what inflation of a currency or a cryptocurrency is, they come in, they put some money into this thing, and then it crashes and they loses. This just strengthens. And we're going to look at a little bit of an article today of Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, saying we need to protect people. What does he mean? I can pretty much guarantee you that what that's going to mean isn't protecting people from fraud, from like fake projects launching. They're not going to go out and start to investigate and say, oh, this project over here is run by a bunch of shady characters, and so we're going to shut them down. No, the way they're going to do it is they're going to just shut it down for regular people, for retail people. And they're going to say, you can't invest. You can invest in Bitcoin. You can invest. Maybe they'll say you can invest in Ethereum. Maybe they'll declare certain things not to be securities. But anything that's a security, anything we declare to be a security, you have to be an approved, credited investor, which means you have to have an income over $1 million or more than $250,000 income and $1 million in assets or whatever it is, just like it is right now. If you want to invest in certain assets in the traditional market, you can't do it. On that, you can't put in $5, $10 or whatever either. You have to come in with large positions. So that's a concern. And somebody might say, well, the same thing happens with Bitcoin. And okay, yeah, but not on that level of an Elon Musk coming in, pumping the crap out of the thing to the point where so many people, besides Bitcoin, has fundamentals there. Bitcoin has already been declared by the SEC not to be a security. It's not inflationary. Ultimately, obviously right now there's some Bitcoin being mined, but it has a total supply. It has solid fundamentals. Cardano up 31.7% in the last 7 days, up 2.1% last 24 hours, currently sitting at $1.74. And we saw some highs, some new all-time highs with Cardano. Cardano has been on fire. 24-hour high was $1.82. I believe that was the high. So Cardano enjoying a new all-time high. Polkadot also up 9.4% on the week to $39.77. Bitcoin Cash up 53% on the week to $1,470. Litecoin up 46%, 46.8% to $392. Chainlink up 28.3% to $50.26. I don't know what's going on with Uniswap, because Uniswap for some reason is not partaking in this party. I mean, look at this. We're just seeing 30, 40, 50, even 167% increases on the week. I mean, it has been a phenomenal week for crypto, but Uniswap, not so much. It was down 7.2%, currently up a bit to $39.22. Stellar up 32.5% to 71 cents. Ethereum Classic just exploded, up 167%. Now $118.64. What the heck is going on with the Ethereum Classic? I don't know. All I can think is that some institutional investors or something decided to come in, because Ethereum Classic, unless there are people out there who are, or a lot of people who are confused about Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, or maybe they just think because Ethereum is doing so well that Ethereum Classic might follow suit, not recognizing the significant difference between them. So Ethereum Classic, it's a project that, it's not a bad project. It's the original Ethereum chain, for those who don't know. And then there was the DAO hack, and then they went and the Ethereum core devs decided to, in a very contentious, hotly disputed event, rolled back the chain, did a hard fork, a chain split. And so Ethereum is a new chain and Ethereum Classic is the original chain. And there were some that were like, no, this violates all of the principles of immutability and everything that we believed in. So we're just going to keep rolling with the Ethereum Classic chain. Another thing that could be going on is miners could be moving over to the Ethereum Classic chain because they're upset with the Ethereum direction. In their direction, in their move to cut miners out eventually. Whatever the case may be, it's incredible to see. So Ethereum is also a project that is supported sort of indirectly by IOHK, Cardano team. So it's definitely not an abandoned project or anything like that. It's got some solid developers behind it. And there is some reason, but this is just mind-blowing what's going on right now, beyond what I think anyone could have predicted or expected, to see Ethereum going up, Ethereum Classic going up like this. So it will be interesting to see if it can hold that. And if there's anything else that comes to my attention as to why that's happening, I will definitely let you know and bring that to your attention. I'm not seeing anything as of yet. VeChain up 4.1%. In this current market, VeChain is not very remarkable at all. Solana, same thing. Solana, negative 6.5% on the week. Currently at $43.64. It is 17 cents. Boy, I tell you what. While all the attention is on Ethereum and all the other projects that are just boosting right now, Solana is like this sleeping, I don't want to say giant, but star player. Let's put it that way. The star player that's just, he's benched right now. We're just setting him there, leaving him there. Just, that's going to be our secret weapon we're going to bring out late in the game when we need like a super speed and we need super talent come out. This Solana, it's incredible. I'm going to talk about Solana a little bit later on today with the technology that they've created, its speed and its capability, and all the projects. There's just project after project after project that are launching on the Solana platform, but it's kind of like quietly happening in the background that nobody knows. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody knows because there are people that know, but I mean, generally speaking, it's just. So anyway, we'll look at that a little bit more. Theta Network up 5.8% is $11.48. Tron, let's see. We'll just scroll through and see if anything else has seen a significant boost. US up 57.4% to $10.22. EOS was a massive disappointment, of course. That platform just did not deliver as was hoped for. Not that surprising, though. So many issues with fundamentals of EOS and how it works. And what else do we have? Cosmos up 20%. 27.57. Pancake Swap is not enjoying this green day either, or week, down 37.84. Polygon doing all right. Avalanche up 24% on the week to 38.53. Maker up 8.2%. All right, that'll cover it for the market today. What do we have to talk about with the news? Gary Gensler of the SEC posted something in the Facebook group yesterday, I think it was, because this story was starting to circulate about how concerning this is. Gensler is saying this, that not just XRP is a security, but a lot of crypto tokens are securities. Last Friday, May 7th, Gary Gensler, the recently appointed chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, talked during an interview with CNBC about the need for, quote, greater investor protection in crypto markets. Read, we are going to keep you, we are going to protect you from losing money by keeping you from being able to invest in these risky, highly volatile, speculative markets. Man, I sure hope that I'm wrong. I mean, I hope what he means is that we're going to go after people who are committing fraud, fraudulent developers, etc. But I fear that that may not be the case. It might be the prior. According to a press release by the US SEC, Gensler was nominated to chair the SEC by President Joseph R. Biden on February 3rd, 2021, and confirmed by the US Senate on April 14th. He was sworn into office on April 17th. So what? We don't give us the pertinent information here. Before he joined the SEC, Gensler was most recently professor of the practice of global economics and management at the MIT Sloan School of Management, co-director of MIT's FinTech at CSAIL, and senior advisor to the MIT Media Lab Digital Currency Initiative. Where he came from and what he was doing previously, and some of the classes even that he gave on Bitcoin, which are pretty good, led the cryptocurrency community to believe that he would be friendly to crypto. But at the same time, if he's being appointed by Biden, this guy is about control. This guy is about big government. This guy is about pushing the boundaries, as they all are, as Orwellian, as Big Brother as we can become. Right? So I'm very skeptical. His comments about the future of regulation of the crypto space came during an interview on CNBC's Squawk Box. This is what he said. I think to the extent, and this is a quote, I think to the extent something is a security, the SEC has a lot of authority and a lot of crypto tokens. I won't call them cryptocurrencies for this moment. Are indeed securities. The prior chair indicated that the prior SEC brought numerous enforcement actions to sort of bring some of those securities or investment contract tokens into the rules. But there are some, like Bitcoin. If I can just focus on that, and that's about half of this $2 trillion asset class right now, it's a digital scarce store of value, but highly volatile. And there's investors that want to trade that and trade that for its volatility, in some cases just for its lower correlation with other markets. So Bitcoin's sort of getting a pass here. I think that we need greater investor protection there, is what Gensler says. And we don't have a federal regime overseeing the crypto exchanges. So if an investor wants to trade on that Bitcoin understanding it's highly volatile, highly speculative. But if they want to trade on that, we haven't placed some investor protection. And that's what I was saying. I think there's a gap in our system right now. He was then asked, what if Congress does not introduce legislation to address this gap? Gensler said, I think that as it relates to Bitcoin, and I'm not speaking to all other tokens right now, our sister agency, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, has some limited anti-fraud and anti-manipulation authority. There's no federal authority to actually bring a regime to the crypto exchanges. And I think that's really something that will be working with Congress. And if they see fit to try to bring some protection for people that want to invest in the speculative asset class. How? That's what I want to know. What are the details? How are you going to bring protection? And then obviously with DEXs, with decentralized exchanges, this is not, and that's, it's interesting because from a user standpoint, where do I need protection? I need protection from a centralized exchange like Binance, sure, or Coinbase. That if I have crypto on that exchange, those guys aren't going to just disappear with it, right? Or if they do, if they lose the private keys, they then are financially liable and held responsible for that. That would be fine. But the beauty of a decentralized exchange like Uniswap or SushiSwap or Liquid coming on Cardano or Mayer coming on Elrond Gold or so many others is you don't need that kind of protection because it's a smart contract and you have the assurance that it's going to happen and it happens right away, right? There is no third entity. There is no company over there holding your funds that could disappear in the middle of the night or have a catastrophic technological failure or somehow go, oops, yeah, we didn't secure things like we thought we had, and so we got hacked. Anyway, we're going to have to keep an eye on this thing and see what happens, see what's going forward. One of the reasons I think we've seen the cryptocurrency space explode is because it felt like there was a lot more regulatory certainty and institutions were feeling like, yeah, we can come in and this market's matured, and this kind of thing will not concern institutional investors, obviously, because they're going to be able to comply. In fact, it may even work to their favor. In fact, they may even be lobbying so that it does work to their favor, so that only institutional investors can come in on the initial token offerings, the initial coin offerings, whatever they're called, right? Now to what do we have? Initial exchange offerings. We got right. So that's the thing. That is the interesting thing about it. I mean, there is truth to what Gensler is saying here. If you have a cryptocurrency that is launched and it's like an ICO and the project, let's look at Etherlight as an example, because I did a podcast recently about that. Got a ton of hits on YouTube, and a lot of people obviously like, this isn't a scam, whatever. It's like, okay, people believe incredible things, but it's clearly a Ponzi scam. It's clearly a hierarchical system in which the people coming in, they have to put in money. They send Ethereum, right, to buy Etherlight or to buy, it's the Alexa Open protocol is really behind the thing. The Etherlight thing is a separate thing, but it's by the same developers, and it looks like it's just connected. It's going to be a thing to draw people into the whole Alexa Open protocol type of Ponzi scheme is what it is. The Ponzi scheme. But anytime you see that kind of thing where it's like, send your Ethereum in and you get X amount of OAP tokens or Etherlight tokens, that ends up being potentially security, because that team, those founders, that foundation, whoever's behind that, is selling an investment vehicle with a promise of increase. So those type of projects are the ones that have to be really concerned. Now, something like Uniswap, where they just airdrop it to everybody, not a concern. Bitcoin, because it's mined and was never sold by the founders or the team, not a problem. So that's what we have to look at. And I mean, obviously they're going to be evaluating so many things there, but I'm going to move on from this. Enough said about that. Solana. We got new projects popping up on Solana all over the place. There's a thread on Reddit. Maybe I'll put a link to it that covers a lot of these. This is actually part 6. And I'm just bringing this up to illustrate what's happening over here on this platform. But you've got Lava Cash, which is a decentralized privacy preservation protocol. You got Burnt Finance, a decentralized auction protocol. You got P, which is building a community-owned and decentralized advertising network on Solana. Metasol, a protocol which will allow users to send any SPL tokens. So with Ethereum, you got your ERC20 tokens, right? Chainlink and all the others. On Solana, they're called SPL tokens. So the Metasol protocol will allow users to send any SPL token without having SOL in their wallets, which is very interesting because think of Uniswap right now. You want to trade a token, you got to have Ethereum. Gas prices are crazy high. It's one of the big problems. So these guys over here are creating a solution that will allow for that same kind of thing on the Solana dexes, the Uniswap dex, like Uniswap-like DEX of Solana to trade the tokens without any fees. Solpad is another project. It's a decentralized IDO platform for the Solana ecosystem. Holdana, the first HODL rewarding airdrop on Solana ecosystem. That might be worth looking into. I'm going to dig into that one a little bit deeper and see if there's an airdrop there for Solana holders. Nina, a decentralized music distribution service. Boring and obfuscation protocol, a decentralized VPN, and the list just goes on and on and on and on. There's so many new projects launching and partnerships with Solana. It's impressive. It's impressive to say the least. So take a look at that. All right, I'm going to jump into a coin highlight of the day. First, I'll start with a little bit of a story. I remember when Chainlink was first launched and then it became available on Coinbase. And I remember at the time thinking, wow, this is incredible. Oracles are definitely needed. This makes a ton of sense. So let me try to simplify what an oracle for you is, what a Chainlink does. You've got Ethereum, which is this blockchain, and it handles transactions on the blockchain, and it has smart contracts which allow for dApps. So people create an application. But that application can only, through the Solidity smart contract code, interact with the Ethereum blockchain. It can't go out and grab data from, let's just say we're going to use an API that's offered by TD Ameritrade, where TD Ameritrade is sending out real-time data on the price of Tesla. We want our smart contract to go out, hit the TD Ameritrade API, web service, whatever. And I don't even know if these things exist. I'm just making this up for illustration purposes. But grab from their data source the current real-time Tesla stock price, because we created an app on Ethereum that is going to have a derivative of Tesla. So the price is going to go up and down with Tesla. How do we get that data from the TD Ameritrade? The Oracle goes out, gets that data, and then passes it back, because the Oracle can speak the language that TD Ameritrade is using, which could be like typical web type of, maybe it's a JSON format, XML, whatever it is. They're providing that data. It grabs it, sends it to the smart contract on Ethereum, and the Ethereum smart contract automatically updates the price of that synthetic Tesla. Maybe it's STSLA or something, the token. Automatically updates it in real time to follow the actual price. Or maybe the data source is coming from the NASDAQ or whatever it is, right? Could be a weather platform that pulling weather data into the Oracle, passing it along to the Ethereum smart contract, which can then interact with the blockchain and do financial transactions. So it's a bridge. That's what an Oracle is. So obviously, Link came out and it was very intriguing. And I almost jumped on the bandwagon and got a bunch of Link, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't was because even at that time, I had concerns about Ethereum. I feel like Ethereum needs to fix their problems before I'm going to put a whole bunch into it. And I still feel that way. In spite of the price surge, I think what's going on here is institutional investors coming in. Ethereum's just number 2. So it has that network effect. We're still seeing the impact of network effect. It's like a popularity contest type of thing. And Ethereum is winning it right now because they're number 2. And they do have a lot of different apps and projects that have been developed on the platform. However, here's the issue. There's all kinds of problems. They're slow, they're expensive, and they can switch over to these other platforms so incredibly easily. Cardano is going to have the KEVM, where you can just, like that, switch your project over. Polkadot, same. Solana, same. And so we could continue to see that happening. Just as we're seeing Bitcoin's dominance drop right now and Ethereum pump, this is a world, people, where innovation moves fast. And yes, there is network effect. And yes, there is the possibility that you get surprised for a time every now and then by influence of a celebrity or whatever it is. You know, because people like to listen to these billionaires. But at the end of the day, people are ultimately going to go to the place where they can earn the most profits, where they can stake their crypto, where they can build their platform and their app that's going to do something that's going to change the world, that's going to help people. They're going to do it in the cheapest, fastest, best environment, ultimately, I believe. So I talked about oracles and I talked about Chainlink, and here's the reason why. I'm going to introduce you all today, if you're not aware of this coin, to a new coin, which has caught my attention. And the reason it's caught my attention is because it appears to be an incredibly solid project with a really, really great, solid team. One of the co-founders of Chainlink, or original devs of Chainlink, is on the team, this project here. Other people are they're all PhD level cryptologists. They are people with experience with other platforms, NXT and Waves and others, that have come to develop this smart contract platform. It is in and of itself called Ergo, ERGO. According to their website, Ergo builds advanced cryptographic features and radically new DeFi functionality on the rock-solid foundations laid by a decade of blockchain theory and development. Before we dive into that a little bit, I'm going to open up CoinMarketCap, pull up Ergo, so we can just go over some of the details that are there. Now, whenever you're starting to research a crypto, go to CoinMarketCap, go to CoinGecko, or any of the similar sources, and just look at what the details are that are available to you there. Best way to get started. And so we're going to kind of do that real time right now because I forgot to have that open. So Ergo is currently down 2.10%, $4.72. Website is ergoplatform.org if you want to visit ergoplatform.org. Now, they have a max supply, which they're going to keep under 100 million tokens. So there will never be any more than 100 million tokens. What Ergo's doing here is they've built a blockchain that keeps a lot of, and this is similar to Cardano. So, and we'll get into that a little bit more here. I don't know how much, but this is a sister project of Cardano. Okay. Some of the core developers on this project previously worked for IOHK or still work at IOHK, but are also working on Ergo. So what they've done though is they've kept the UTXO model of Bitcoin, which has a lot of advantages to it. And Cardano did the same thing, versus Ethereum has an accounting model. And that is significant in numerous ways from a technological standpoint, some of which we'll cover hopefully here in a little bit. But moving on, less than 100 million tokens for max supply. Currently, it's 97,739,924 for the max supply. Current total supply is 35 million. It's starting to trend up with the market. Let's take a look at, they just don't have much, but where can you get Ergo currently? You can get it on gate.io. You can get it on Probit Exchange. You can get it on CoinX. There's a few others that are not being listed here that it is available on. I know you can get it on Trade Ogre. I believe on the Ergo website, they have some others listed. So this thing is so, it's ranked 336, but it's so unheard of even at this point that CoinMarketCap really doesn't have much available about it. But going back to their website, let's look and see if they have, I know that there it is, exchanges. You can also get it on Bicky, Bitmart, Trade Ogre. I'd recommend Trade Ogre. You can go there, no KYC. CoinX, Waves, Dex, Tidex, Vite, Hotbit, Probit, Conspit, and Gate.io. Those are places that it is available. Ergo draws on 10 years of blockchain development, complementing tried and tested principles with the best peer-to-peer reviewed academic research into cryptography, consensus models, and digital currencies. They start with a solid blockchain basics and implement new and powerful cryptography natively. The team has a solid background in core development with cryptocurrencies and blockchain frameworks, including NXT, ScoreX, and Waves. And our lean approach means we can prioritize new features and requirements quickly. Ergo's smart contracts allow the platform to execute wide-ranging tasks, but always know in advance how much the code will cost and whether it will run successfully. Meanwhile, we can still write Turing-complete scripts by iterating processes across multiple blocks. That means Ergo can support versatile dApps that run predictably with known costs and don't have any of the dangers of unrestricted functionality. So this is one of the things that they've done that is an improvement upon Ethereum smart contracts. They say in our different experiences of working with blockchain platforms, we've learned that conventional Turing-complete smart contracts may be powerful, but they can be risky. Implementing complex computational tasks on the blockchain can have unintended consequences. Network conditions, bugs, and code exploits can mean it's impossible to know how expensive it is to execute software or whether that code will run as intended at all. That can lead to security vulnerabilities and faulty dApps. All right. It is a proof of work cryptocurrency, so you can currently mine it. If you're an Ethereum miner and you want to mine Ergo, you can do that. Not currently as profitable, but if you want to do some speculative mining, you can mine Ergo, waiting for that price increase later on down the road. All right, what is the number one reason why I am looking to Ergo as a potential winner moving forward? It's the whole aspect of Oracle, the Oracle solution that they're providing. But before I get to that, there's a site called sigmaverse.io which is a portal to all the Ergo smart contract dApp applications that are out there. Right now, there's an Ergo auction house. There's an Ergo mixer, which is very interesting. That's a privacy tool where you can send in your Ergo. It mixes it up, similar to what Bitcoin has with coin join, and then it'll shoot back out wherever it needs to go, wherever your transaction in a private way. Ergo Utils, Oracle Pools, Sigma USD, Zero Knowledge Treasury. These are some of the dApps that have already been developed on the Ergo platform. But going back to the number one reason, it is the Oracle issue. And so if you go to ergoplatform.org, to the website, there's a blog post there on Chainlink oracles versus Ergo Oracle pools. And this is very interesting. We'll just blow through some of this really quickly so you can get an overview. The design of Ergo's Oracle pools are more efficient and programmable than using multiple single Oracle data points, such as in Chainlink's Oracle design. We build hierarchies of confidence using Oracle pools and pools of Oracle pools in Ergo. It's faster, cheaper, and more beneficial to the end user. So I'm not going to cover all the details of that. I've read through it. You can go read through it if you want. It's a little bit lengthy and it's a little bit techy. I'm going to summarize it to say that they have created a superior Oracle platform to Chainlink. And the fact that it's going to run on and work with Cardano is also huge. And there is a partnership between Ergo and Cardano going on here. Okay, that's the other aspect of it. Now, if we go in and I want to go to the About Us page, try to find it here. It was down at the bottom, I think. Just to look at the team a little bit, to give you a little bit of an idea of who they are. No, I am not seeing that. Give me just a moment. Foundation, Hall of Fame, Ergo Cast. Where is the team information? Well, I'm not finding it here, so I guess I'll just move on past that. I already talked in some detail earlier about it, though, who these people are. They're tightly knit with Cardano. They have some of the developers are shared. All of the developers, there's many of them on the Ergo platform, are respected top-level cryptographers, PhD level people who've also had experience with projects in the past. So that adds up. So in our typical fundamental analysis, team is good, technology is good, marketing, they do have a built-in foundation, a built-in marketing source, financial, call it a what do they call it? A development fund, right? Where there's a certain amount of each block that gets mined going back to the foundation for funding for marketing and development, that sort of thing. So they have money there. But when it comes to the marketing aspect here, what I think is going to happen is that they will ride on the coattail of Cardano, because Charles Hoskinson, the Cardano team, is definitely promoting them and working with them and helping them. And they've had them already. The CEO of, or the founder, I should say, of Ergo was on the Cardano 360 podcast and talking about similar approaches that they have with using the UTXO model. In fact, I think it's likely that there was some collaboration early on with the Cardano development team and Ergo in terms of how the UTXO transaction model could be superior in certain ways to the accounting model that Ethereum uses. I've alluded to that in other episodes in the past. I'm not going to dive into it right now any further. So the team is good, the technology is good, the marketing is good, the economics, the tokenomics of the coin is good, limited supply, low supply. It is a proof of work platform. You can mine it. If you're an Ethereum miner, if you're using GPUs, you can go out and mine this thing. It's very it's ASIC resistant at the moment. So it's been designed technically in a way that makes it more distributed and more decentralized, which is a good thing. So positives, a lot of positives across the board. All right, let's wrap things up here today and finish up with our crypto terminology. We are now in the P's. So let's just blow through this as fast as we can. A pair is a trade between one cryptocurrency and another. For example, the trading pair BTC/ETH, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Paper wallet. What is a paper wallet? It is a physical document containing your private key or seed phrase. Parachain. Parachain. What is a parachain? Parachains are application-specific data structures that run in parallel to each other within Polkadot. And Polkadot's not the only platform that's going to have parachains. Password manager. A password manager is a tool or software that stores all sorts of passwords needed for online applications and services. Payee. What is a payee? A payee is a third party, not a third party. Let's rewind that. Start over again. A payee is a party within an exchange of goods or even services that can receive payment. Peer-to-peer, sometimes written as P2P. The decentralized interactions between parties in a distributed network, partitioning tasks or workloads between peers. Peer-to-peer is awesome. Peer-to-peer means there's no middleman. Peer-to-peer means you're directly dealing with the person that you want to deal with. So on Uniswap, it's peer-to-peer. You're trading with another person. Well, there's a liquidity pool in the middle, but essentially, other things are even more peer-to-peer, such as the THETA network, where somebody's delivering up the video that you want to watch from their own computer, and you go and you snag it, and you have a direct connection between your computer and their computer, peer-to-peer. Permissioned ledger, a ledger designed with restrictions such that only people or organizations requiring access have permission to access it. Permissionless, the opposite of permissioned, often used to describe blockchains. A system is said to be permissionless when there is no entity that can regulate who can use it and how it can be used. Phishing. Phishing is when a scammer pretends to be a trusted institution or person to trick people into revealing sensitive information such as social security numbers, passwords, banking details, etc., often through a malware link disguised as legitimate. Platform. On CoinMarketCap, platform refers to the parent blockchain of tokens. It may also refer to a cryptocurrency exchange on which you may trade cryptocurrencies. Ponzi scheme, a fraudulent investment involving the payment of purported returns to existing investors from funds contributed by new investors. A la Etherlight. Portfolio, a collection of cryptocurrencies or crypto assets held by an investment company, hedge fund, financial institution, or individual. Post-mine, the retroactive creation of new coins following a cryptocurrency's launch before public mining is possible. Pre-mine, when some of or all of a coin's initial supply is generated during or before the public launch. One of the most notoriously damaging pre-mines was with, I'm blanking on it. The social media platform created by Daniel Larimer that utilized BitShares. Steam it, that's it. I knew it'd come to me if I started going down the path. Yeah, and the developers pre-mined there, and they didn't do anything damaging with it, but eventually down the road, one of them sold to Justin Sun, and then he overtook the whole dang thing and wreaked a bunch of havoc there. Pre-sale, the sale of a cryptocurrency ahead of it going public to specific investors. Price impact, the difference between market price and estimated price due to trade size. Private key secret key, a piece of code generated in asymmetric key encryption process paired with a public key to be used in decrypting information hashed with the public key. Private key, secret key, a piece of code generated in asymmetric key encryption process paired with a public key to be used in decrypting information hashed with the public key. Right, so whenever you have a wallet, you have a private key and you have a public key, and that public key is the address which people can send their crypto to. The private key is what allows you to access the funds at that address. With your address, though, anyone can see on the Explorer what tokens are held within that address, the public key address, but you need that private key in order to actually send and receive and to make transactions. Proof of authority, POA, a blockchain consensus mechanism that delivers comparatively fast transactions using identity as a stake. And Solana actually uses proof of authority. That's one example. Proof of burn, POB, a blockchain consensus mechanism aiming to bootstrap one blockchain to another with increased energy efficiency by verifying that a cost was incurred in burning a coin by sending it to an unspendable address. Proof of developer, POD, any verification that provides evidence of a real living software developer who created a cryptocurrency in order to prevent an anonymous developer from making away with any raised funds without delivering a working model. There was a time, and I suppose there still is, when you delve deep into the lower market cap projects out there, that there are a number of projects where you just don't know who the developers are because they have not doxed themselves. They've not made available the information of who they actually are. They're operating anonymously, and that can always be concerning. Proof of replication. Proof of replication, POREP, is the way that a storage miner proves to the network that they are storing an entirely unique copy of a piece of data. So this would happen on your file storing protocols. Proof of space-time. In simplest terms, POST means that someone can now guarantee that they are spending a certain amount of space for storage. Proof of stake, POS, the blockchain consensus mechanism involving choosing the creator of the next block via various combinations of random selection and wealth or age of staked coins or tokens. See proof of work. So we have a number of proof of stake platforms currently active: Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche, Solana, Elrond Gold, the list goes on and on. Ethereum moving in that direction. Protocol, the set of rules that define interactions on a network, usually involving consensus, transaction validation, and network participation on a blockchain. Pseudonymous, writing under a false name such as Satoshi Nakamoto. Public address. A public address is the cryptographic hash of a public key, allowing the user to use it as an address to request for payment. Public blockchain, a blockchain that can be accessed by anyone. Pump and dump, P&D scheme, a form of securities fraud involving the artificial inflation of the price of a cryptocurrency with false and misleading positive statements in order to sell previously cheaply purchased stock at a higher price. See, Elon Musk would be in danger of doing that if it was a security and if he actually held Dogecoin and he sold it at a higher price. Pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is a scam with a hierarchical top-down structure. Okay, friends, that concludes the daily crypto update for this Monday, May 10th. I hope you have an incredible week. I hope we continue to see these really nice green numbers across the board. Remember, visit blockthrasher.com, sign up for an account there, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're using. We're on all of them now: Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor, even the ones you probably haven't even heard of. Maybe you have if you're using them. Be sure to subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel as well. Hit a like, turn on notifications. Always appreciate a share. Love and appreciate you all. Have a great week, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye now.